Good morning, students. So today we will discuss about some important definitions related to DC circuits, and then we will move towards the resistance, inductance, and capacitance. Okay. So first definition is, what is current? We know that flow of free electrons in a closed circuit is known as current. So see here, these are the electrons. Electrons are negatively charged, so they are attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, and this is the direction of the electric current. But direction of conventional current is from positive to negative. Amount of charge passing through the conductor in a unit time is also known as current. So we know that I is equal to Q by T, where Q stands for charge, its unit is coulomb, T stands for time. Okay. And unit of current is ampere. Now, second definition is potential. So potential is, normally we can define potential as a ratio of work done per charge. Unit of potential is volt. So potential V equals to W by Q. W stands for work, Q stands for charge. Also we can define potential as work done to move a unit positive charge from some distance in a electric field of another charge is also known as potential. So basically, potential is also known as voltage, and unit of both is volt. Now, potential difference. See here, two charges there. Here is 12 volt, here is 7 volt. Difference between electric potential between two charged bodies is known as potential difference. Here we can see that 12 volt charge is there, 7 volt charge is there. So potential difference is 12 minus 7 equals to 5 volt. So difference between potential of two charged bodies is also known as potential difference. Now, electromotive force, EMF. We know that without any force, electron cannot move from one place to another place. So there is always a force required to move electron from negative terminal to positive terminal is known as EMF. Unit of EMF is voltage, volt. Now, next is energy. So we know that ability to do a work is energy. Unit of energy is joule or watt into second. Generally, we know that it is the basic formula of work is equal to power into time. We know that power is given by P equals to VI into T. Okay, or we can write P equals to I square R in place of P. So I square RT. Okay, so W stands for energy, P power, and T is equal to time. Now, next is power. So power is nothing but energy per unit time is known as power. So power is equal to work upon time. Unit of power is joule per second or watt. Now next is resistance. So property of material that opposes the flow of electron is known as resistance. We will discuss in detail in next half about resistance. Unit of resistance is ohm. R equal to V by I. V stands for voltage, I stands for current. Again, property of material that opposes the flow of electron is known as resistance. So, now next is conductance. Conductance is inverse of resistance. Also we can say that the property of material that allows the flow of electron is also known as conductance. It is reciprocal of resistance. So conductance Z equals to 1 by R. Now resistivity. We know that resistance R is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the area of conductor. Okay, see here, R proportional to L by A. So when we remove that proportional, R equals to rho L by A. If we subject this rho, so rho is equals to RA by L. This rho is nothing but the specific resistivity or specific resistance or resistivity. Its unit is ohm into meter. Similarly, we can say that conductivity is also reciprocal of resistivity. So ability of material to flow of electron of a given material for 1 meter length and 1 meter cross sectional area is called as conductivity. Unit of conductivity is Siemens. Okay, so sigma stands for conductivity equals to 1 upon rho, where rho stands for resistivity. Okay, so these are the basic definitions related to the DC circuits. Now we will move towards the three main components of DC circuits: resistance, inductance, and capacitance. So here we will start with resistor. As we have already discussed that resistance is a property of material which opposes the flow of current and its unit is ohm. See here, this is the symbol of resistance. So resistor is an element which opposes the flow of current. If we consider that conductor, its area is A and length is L, then we know that the value of resistance of conductor is directly proportional to length, inversely proportional to area of cross section. It also depends on nature of material and it depends on temperature of conductor. So this is also a question asked in exam, like that factors affecting the resistance are length, area, nature of material, and temperature. So we can say that R equals to rho L by A, where rho stands for resistivity, L stands for length, and A is equal to area of conductor. So this is important questions. Factors affecting the resistance of material. Again, I repeat that length of conductor, area of conductor, nature of material, and temperature of conductor. Okay. Next is second component, inductor. Inductor is element which stores energy in form of magnetic field. Inductor is also known as coil. So the property of coil of inducting EMF due to changing flux link with it known as inductance of coil. So here I say that inductance, this is the symbol of inductance. See, inductance of coil is directly proportional to the square of number of turns. Now, if we say that the number of turns is n, then inductance directly proportional to the square of number of turns n square. It is also directly proportional to the area of cross section, is inversely proportional to the length, and it also, inductance also depends on the absolute permeability of magnetic material. Permeability is mu. So these are the basic equations. See here. See, S stands for reluctance, N stands for number of turns, I stands for current. So basically, the flux is given by Ni by S. But S stands for L upon mu 0 mu r into A. So we can write this Ni mu 0 mu r A upon L. Now, inductance is also given by this basic equation L is equal to N phi upon I, where N stands for number of turns, phi is a flux, and L is I is a current. So if we replace that phi equals to Ni mu 0 mu r A upon L. Here then we have the final equation of inductance as n square mu 0 mu r A upon L. So from this equation we can say that inductance of coil is directly proportional to square of turns, permeability mu 0 mu r, A stands for area and L stands for length. That's why we have written that inductance is directly proportional to the square of number of turns. It is directly proportional to the area of cross section, inversely proportional to the length, and it also depends on the permeability. Here I revise that what is flux. So this is the basic things. We already know that the flux is nothing but the magnetic field lines. Okay. And what is S? S stands for reluctance. It is also same as resistance in electric circuit, but here reluctance in magnetic circuit, which opposes the production of flux through it. Okay, so this is all about inductance. Again, I revise what is inductance. So inductor is element which stores the energy in form of magnetic field. Okay, we know that electromagnetic induction, whenever the current flowing through the conductor, it generates the magnetic flux around it, and that when the current flowing through the conductor changes, it produces flux. So basically flux, when flux, it produces EMF. So E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. Okay, so this is about the inductance. Now last component is capacitor. So capacitor is an element which stores energy in form of charge. We know the basic equation of capacitor, capacitance C equals to Q by V, where Q stands for charge and V stands for voltage. Here this is the basic symbol of capacitor, and capacitance is the property of capacitor. So, see here, capacitance is directly proportional to the area and inversely proportional to the distance between two plates. So basically these two are the plates, and dielectric medium is between these two plates of capacitor. So capacitance is denoted by C and it is measured in Faraday. Now you have to keep in mind that capacitance of parallel plate capacitor is directly proportional to the area and inversely proportional to the distance between two plates. So we can write C equals to epsilon A by D, where epsilon stands for permittivity. So we can write epsilon equals to epsilon 0, epsilon r, A by D. So where C stands for capacitor, A stands for area of plates, D stands for distance between two plates, epsilon is absolute permittivity, epsilon 0 is permittivity of free space, and epsilon r is relative permittivity of dielectric material. So these are the basic three components for the DC circuits: resistance, inductance, and capacitance. And before discussing this component, we have already discussed about the basic definitions related to DC circuits. Now we will move towards the first law, that is Ohm's law. So it is very important. So explain Ohm's law and its limitation. So this is the statement of Ohm's law. Current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied to the conductor, provided that no change in temperature. So this is the graph between voltage and current, and it remains constant. Okay, so we can say that I proportional to V. Current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between two ends of conductor. So if we remove that, we have the following equation: V equals to IR. Okay, where R is constant, which is also known as resistance of conductor. So R equal to V by I, where V stands for voltage, I stands for current. So definition of, sorry, limitation of Ohm's law, that it cannot be applied to non-linear device like diode, transistor. These are the non-linear device. It cannot be applied to the non-metallic material, and it can only be applied in constant temperature condition. That's why we have mentioned that in the statement of Ohm's law, that current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied to the conductor when, but no, there is no change in temperature. So this is Ohm's law. V equals to IR, and its limitation, these three are the limitations of Ohm's law, that it cannot be applied to nonlinear device like diode, Zener diode, and transistors. It cannot be applied to non-metallic conductor, and it can only be applied in constant temperature condition. Again, I revised some important definitions which you have to keep in mind for the next lectures. So basically, what is current? So flow of free electrons is known as current, and its unit is ampere. What is potential? Potential is work done per charge. Next is resistance. It is property of material to oppose the flow of current. R equals to rho L by A. Factors affecting resistance are length, area, and temperature. What is inductance? The property of material to store energy in form of magnetic field. L equals to N phi upon I. Capacitance is a property of capacitor to store the energy in form of charge. C equals to epsilon A by D. And last we have discussed about Ohm's law. So this is the statement about Ohm's law. Current flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to potential difference between two ends of conductor. V equals to IR. So this is all about introduction to DC circuits, resistance, inductance, capacitance, and Ohm's law and its limitations. Thank you.